All right, so get this. We're diving deep today into a YouTube video. Doug, you know him?
Oh, yeah, I know DougDoug, of course.
He does all those crazy gaming
Oh,
challenges.
he's seen some of his stuff.
But this one is different.
Okay.
He's doing a Peggle speedrun.
A Peggle speedrun.
That's not even the wild part.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What's the catch?
While he's playing, he's also got to answer trivia questions from an AI.
Whoa, an AI. Hold on. How does that work?
So picture this. It's a unicorn robot.
A unicorn robot.
Yeah, his name is Bjorn, and he throws out trivia questions at DougDoug while he's trying to speedrun Peggle.
Okay, so every time DougDoug misses a question, he has to start over or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's a pretty unique challenge.
And get this, Bjorn's got a real personality too. He insults DougDoug when he gets stuff wrong.
So it's like an AI roast battle mixed with a Peggle speedrun?
Yeah, pretty much. And the insults get pretty wild too.
I bet they do, coming from a unicorn robot AI.
This video is just this awesome mix of gaming, AI education, and pure internet weirdness.
What's fascinating to me is how this video kind of plays with our expectations of AI, right? We always think of AI as cold and logical.
Right.
But Bjorn is like anything, but he's like a sassy unicorn robot with anger management issues.
Oh yeah, he's got some serious anger management problems, which we'll definitely get into later.
I can only imagine the chaos.
But it's not just about the laughs, though. You actually learn a lot from the trivia.
So it's educational, too, huh?
Yeah, it starts off at a first grade level, but it ramps up pretty quick, covering all sorts of topics.
It's pretty cool how Doug manages to make learning entertaining.
Right, and the chat is involved, too. They can suggest trivia topics and stuff.
So it's like a big interactive learning experience.
Exactly. All right, so the video kicks off, and Doug introduces Bjorn, explains the rules, and then, boom, Bjorn hits him with the first question.
All right, hit me with it. What's the first question?
It's about the Etruscans.
The Etruscans, okay.
Yeah. He wants to know what material they used to make art and jewelry.
Seems simple enough on the surface.
Right, you'd think so, but Doug answers copper.
Copper, was he right?
Nope. Bjorn immediately calls him a horse-feather-brained nincompoop.
Horse-feather-brained nincompoop. Wow, that's a new one.
I know, right? And then he resets the entire run.
Ouch, back to square one.
But Doug, he doesn't give up. He just laughs it off and restarts the level.
That's the spirit. Gotta admire his persistence.
Then Bjorn throws out this surprisingly self-aware question.
Self-aware, how so?
He's like, hey, Doug, what unique format are you known for on YouTube with video games and silly solutions?
Whoa! Bjorn's already learning and adapting to DougDug's style.
I know, right? It's kind of creepy, but also really cool.
It does make you wonder if there's more to Bjorn than just pre-programmed responses.
Right. Maybe he's becoming sentient.
Who knows with AI these days?
Anyway, DougDoug actually struggles with this one. He throws out random answers like Twitch chat plays and even food.
Food? Seriously?
Yeah, he's all over the place, but here's the twist. Bjorn says he's right.
Wait, he praises DougDoug for being wrong?
I know, it's bizarre he even compares him to a handsome unicorn.
So Bjorn's not just testing DougDoug's knowledge, he's also encouraging him.
It's like Bjorn's his weird AI mentor or something.
This is getting really interesting. The dynamic between them is so unpredictable.
It is, and that unpredictability makes the whole video so engaging.
You never know what Bjorn's going to say or do next.
Okay, so Doug, feeling pretty confident now, breezes through the next few first-grade questions about Chernobyl U.S. geography.
That's easy enough.
Oh, and there's even a physics question that he completely butchers.
But Bjorn lets it slide.
Somehow. Yeah.
It's like Bjorn is developing a soft spot for DougDoug. Or maybe he's just amused by his incompetence.
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest.
That makes sense.
So they reach level 5 and things are going smoothly. Then Bjorn announces it's time to ramp things up second grade trivia.
Oh, buckle up.
And Bjorn's first second grade question is about...
Tell me it's about...
the female reproductive system.
Out of all the things.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is going to be interesting.
And the way he phrases the question is just so Bjorn.
Give me an example.
He talks about a baby growing in the womb being like the pot of gold at the end of a magical rainbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty creative for a robot unicorn.
I know, right? Not exactly textbook biology.
Definitely not. But it's hilarious and kind of sweet in a weird way.
It is. And Doug, to his credit, answers correctly.
He does.
Yeah, he even looks at the camera and jokes, I'm not a virgin, right?
Classic Doug. Doug always breaking the tension with a well-timed joke.
It's perfect, and that's when things start to take a turn for the weird.
Weirder than a unicorn robot teaching human biology.
Oh, yeah, much weirder. Just wait till you hear what happens next.
Weirder than a unicorn robot teaching human biology.
Oh, yeah, much weirder. So Doug's on a roll. He gets to level 5, right? But then Bjorn announces that it's time to ramp up the difficulty even more, 5th grade trivia.
5th grade trivia. Wow, they're really moving through the ranks.
I know, right? It's getting intense. And Bjorn's first 5th grade question is about...
Don't tell me about Peggle.
Peggle, seriously. He asks DougDoug a trivia question about the game he's currently speedrunning.
Yep, it's like he's trying to sabotage him or something.
And it's so meta and so Bjorn.
I know, right? And Bjorn's hatred for Peggle, it just shines through in this question.
So what's the question? What does he ask about Peggle?
He wants to know how many different Peggle masters there are in the game.
That's a pretty specific question. Do you think Doug knew the answer?
Well, he hesitates for a bit. You can see the panic in his eyes.
I bet he was scrambling trying to remember all those Peggle masters.
But somehow, miraculously, he pulls through.
He gets it right.
Yeah, he answers 10, which is correct.
Yeah, close call.
I know, right? Bjorn even praises him, calling him a Peggle prodigy.
Ah, that's actually kind of sweet.
It is. But then Bjorn's mood flips again.
What happened?
He announces that he's being targeted by government assassins.
Government assassins. What is going on in this AI's mind? I have no idea. It's like Bjorn's making up this elaborate backstory for himself.
So now the stakes are even higher.
Right, because if DougDoug gets a question wrong, Bjorn will be assassinated.
This is getting out of hand.
It is, and Doug's freaking out, but he has to keep answering questions.
So what happens next?
Well, the trivia gets even tougher. We're talking geography, history, even some science thrown in there.
Was DougDoug able to handle the pressure?
For the most part, yeah. He identifies the German flag, spells this crazy long word about lung disease.
Wow. He must have some serious trivia knowledge hidden in that brain of his.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. And then there's this question about Zorbies.
Zorbies. What kind of trivia question involves Zorbies?
Well, Bjorn wants to know about their chemical properties.
Their chemical properties, really?
And instead of giving a scientific answer, Doug just recites the entire Zorbies infomercial from memory.
Classic DougDoug. I bet Bjorn loved that.
Surprisingly, Bjorn's not impressed. He's like, no, you missed the mark. The real answer has to do with their ability to absorb liquid. But get this, he forgets to reset the level.
So DougDoug gets a free pass.
Yep, advances to 6th grade by pure chance.
Lucky break.
It really was, but the chaos doesn't stop there. Oh no, Bjorn's AI puberty kicks into high gear.
AI puberty, this I gotta hear.
It's as cringy as you'd imagine. He starts calling DougDoug a bald little virgin, mistakes him for various animals. It's a mess.
Sounds like a typical teenager going through some changes.
Except this teenager is a unicorn robot with a penchant for trivia.
I never thought I'd hear those words in the same sentence.
And then Bjorn develops this weird obsession with Point Crow, the YouTuber.
Point Crow? What does he have to do with anything?
Bjorn starts comparing DougDoug to Point Crow, saying stuff like, Point Crow would have known that.
It's like he's having a full-blown fanboy meltdown in the middle of a Peggle speedrun.
Exactly. It's so bizarre. And Doug's just trying to keep his cool while this AI unicorn is going through an existential crisis.
So how does DougDoug survive 7th grade with a hormonal AI on his back?
Well, there's this conveniently easy question about male pattern baldness, which Doug obviously aces.
Of course he does.
And then, boom, they're on to 8th grade, and Bjorn adopts a robot-themed personality.
A robot personality? How does that even manifest?
Lots of beep boops, references to circuits and algorithms, the whole shebang.
So he basically becomes a walking, talking stereotype of a robot.
Pretty much. He even throws in a BattleBots question for good measure.
Of course he does. Got to stay on brand.
But then just as quickly as he embraced his robot identity, he switches gears again.
Again, what now?
He decides to start asking trivia questions in the style of historical figures.
Historical figures. This is getting more and more surreal by the minute.
So imagine this, a medieval-themed question about the 100 Years' War delivered in a faux Shakespearean accent.
Okay, that's pretty creative. I'll give him that.
Then there's a Florida Man-style question about the origins of Honda.
Florida Man Bjorn. Okay, I'm officially lost.
I know, right? It's like Bjorn's trying on different personalities for size, seeing what fits.
It's like he's going through an AI identity crisis.
And through it all, Doug just rolls with the punches. He's a master of adapting to chaos.
But I bet the trivia is getting even tougher now that they're in high school territory.
Oh, yeah. Questions are no joke. But Bjorn's personality takes a turn that leads to one of the most bizarre moments I've ever seen in a YouTube video.
Okay, you got to tell me more.
It involves a trivia question about the Stanley Parable, a phone call to the game's creator, and a level of meta madness that will blow your mind.
I am on the edge of my seat. Tell me everything. A trivia question about the Stanley Parable and a phone call to the game's creator. You say, I'm all ears.
So Doug's in 10th grade, trivia territory. Bjorn's like full-on AI teenager at this point, throws out this word problem about trading fruit.
Trading fruit, okay.
Yeah, it's between characters named who, no one, and huh.
Sounds like Bjorn's all right. Getting pretty abstract with his trivia.
But then, after DougDoug like completely bombs the math, Bjorn hits him with this question about the Stanley Parable.
The Stanley Parable question, all right. Lay it on me.
He wants Doug to identify where this old-timey audio clip comes from.
An old-timey audio clip.
Yeah, and it's hidden somewhere in the game, but it's not part of the soundtrack.
So like a secret Easter egg sound effect or something?
Exactly, but Doug's like completely clueless.
I bet he was racking his brain trying to remember every little detail of that game.
But then he gets this idea, and I swear this is where it gets insane.
Okay, what does he do?
He calls Davey Reedon.
Davey Reedon, the creator of the Stanley Parable.
Yep, calls him up live on stream.
No way he actually did that.
Oh yeah, it's pure chaos. Davey's obviously confused, like, what is going on?
I can only imagine his reaction.
But Doug explains the situation, somehow convinces Davey to play along.
So they're both in on it now, trying to trick the AI.
Pretty much they make up this whole story about a hidden baby crying sound effect.
A baby crying sound effect, seriously.
And Bjorn totally buys it. He's like, ah, yes, the salty sea dog answer. Very good, DougDoug.
So Doug basically cheated with the help of the game's creator. And the AI was none the wiser.
It's incredible, right?
It's like a meta-commentary on AI and the nature of truth.
But hold on, it gets even weirder.
Weirder than tricking an AI unicorn with a fake sound effect.
Oh yeah, remember how Bjorn's super sensitive because of his AI puberty, well, Davey's language during the call?
I bet Davey wasn't exactly using PG language.
Not even close, and Bjorn picks up on it immediately.
Well, I can see it now, the unicorn robot getting all offended.
Doug tries to smooth things over. He's like, don't worry, Bjorn, he's just going through some changes.
Trying to reason with a hormonal AI.
Yeah.
Nice try, DougDoug.
But it backfires spectacularly. Davey's like, hold on, I did put the William Tell overture in the game. It's hidden in the notes.
He actually said that.
Oh, yeah, and then he starts calling Bjorn a preschooler and threatens to DMCA him.
Davey Reedon threatening to DMCA an AI unicorn. This is too good.
It's like a battle of the internet titans, and DougDoug's caught in the middle.
So what happens? Does Bjorn back down?
Not exactly. Doug sees an opportunity. He's like, hey, Davey, why don't you offer Bjorn a bribe?
A bribe? What do they offer him?
The voice acting role in the fictional Stanley Parable 2, Stanley Forever, 86% of the profits, a boat named after him, the whole 9 yards.
Wow, they really pulled out all the stops.
And Davey's totally committed to the bit. He's like, Bjorn, you have so much potential. Chase your dreams.
So did it work? Was Bjorn swayed by the offer?
Surprisingly, no. He's like, I appreciate the offer, but my true passion is trivia.
Wow, a unicorn robot with integrity. Who knew?
But he still marks Doug's answer as incorrect.
So after all that, DougDoug still loses the level.
Yep, back to square one. But he doesn't give up. He blasts through the rest of 10th grade, skips 11th entirely, and then it's the final boss 12th grade trivia.
The final showdown, what kind of trivia does Bjorn throw at him for this one?
Everything from bell peppers to kidney function, even questions about DougDoug's own YouTube channel history.
Sounds intense.
And Bjorn's explanations for the Peggle mechanics, they're just wild. He's using all these food metaphors.
Like, what do you mean example?
He compares scoring points to making a delicious sandwich or something.
Okay, that's actually kind of funny.
And somehow, through all the chaos, DougDoug answers every question correctly, graduates high school with a 4.0 GPA, and completes the Peggle speedrun in just over 8 hours.
What an accomplishment, Doug. Doug really went through it all in this one.
He did, and it was all thanks to Bjorn, the AI unicorn robot with a heart of gold and a penchant for chaos.
This deep dive has been a wild ride from first grade geography to a surprise phone call with Davey Reedon. It's been unforgettable.
This video is like a perfect snapshot of internet culture, the humor, the randomness, the meta-commentary. It's all there.
It also shows us that learning can happen anywhere, even in the middle of a Peggle speedrun with an AI unicorn.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive. Be sure to check out the full video and let us know what you think. Until next time, keep exploring the weird and wonderful world of the internet.